Hey, hey, hey! Welcome, gorgeous, divine, intuitive being. It's Tiffany here with the last day. When I say last day, that's a little bit misleading, shall we say, but the last journeying day of Be Your Own Magician. So what do I mean by that? Well, all week, whether you know it or not, whether you've been doing it consciously or not, the fact that you're seeing this either live or on replay does kind of say that you have been doing this work, whether you realize it or not. Obviously, the more that you put into it, the more that you get out of it. So the more conscious you are about the work that you're doing, the more it works out. But if you're just seeing this and you're like, I haven't done any of this, then know that you have on one level. And what is this? What is this I'm talking about? Hi, Manu. And someone else that just says Facebook user, but hello to you. Before we go into today's content, which is going to be very much around manifesting, and in particular, three massive mindset blocks. So, three of the anti manifestation mindsets that I see in intuitives so much. I'm going to tell you what they are and how you can transform them. I'm so excited about that. Hopefully, you are too. And hi, Marie. And by all means, you can also just pop in the comments. This is a little special for those of you that are live. If you're live on this live stream, you can pop in the comments the mindset that you feel blocks you from manifesting, and I will help you turn that around, because we are doing Be Your Own Magician, and this is the grand finale in a way that this is your last day of journeying. But tomorrow you will have a review posted up which will help you process your journey, because that's so important. We can never know what a journey is about until we've done it, but quite often we don't review. Quite often we just go on to the next thing and it's lost, and that's where the real gem is. So tomorrow is like stop, review. You don't have to stop all day, obviously, but just do the review that goes up in the post that you will get tomorrow. It's really flipping important. Okay, so I want to see those mindsets coming in the chat box. What is it that you feel stops you from manifesting? Because we're going to be looking at that today. And why? Because the magician manifests something out of nothing, because he's got his mindset right, which is the sword. It cuts through air, so it cuts through those blocks in the mind, because thoughts come through thin air, right? And it gets right to the heart of the matter. So it opens the heart, takes you into vulnerability and visibility, which we did yesterday, the piece on how if you want something to manifest, if you want your vision to manifest, there's a need to be vulnerable. There's a need to put yourself out there and be visible for that vision to come through. You can't have your vision without vulnerability and visibility, right? So we did that piece yesterday. And then we have here the manifestation. Okay. The manifestation is when you have done those pieces, when you've cut through the mindset. I can see that someone is saying fear stops them, for instance. And another one is to prove worth to everyone at every time. Okay, so there's some things that we're already going to touch on in today's live about this manifestation. Fear, the one that said fear, I would like you to drill it down. It's a bit generic. So give me an example of how it stops you. What is it that you're afraid of? Yes. So, and what's the mindset? What's the mind telling you? What is it that you hear in those instances? That's what I want to know. Because it's when we're really clear that we've got something tangible, that is when the pentacle arrives. Yes, so you've got your mindset. Again, the sound has gone. Again, I can't believe it. Okay, thank you for letting me know. I wonder what the last bit you heard was, but basically what I was saying was the magician has to have his mindset right and his heart right for the action to be right in order to receive the right pentacle. And if it's not, then you're going to get a wonky pentacle. And if you get a pentacle at all, and this is what I say about intuitives. Yeah, we all resonate with this magician so strongly, so powerfully, yet we struggle with being able to get our mindset right, to open to vulnerability, to allow what we want to come in, and to take the action that's accordingly in alignment to that, and then get the manifestation going on. It seems quite simple when you put it in these 4 steps, but actually these are ongoing pieces of work. So it's not just like we've done the sword and now that's ticked, and we've done the cup and now that's ticked, and we've done the wand and now that's ticked, and now we're going to do the pentacle. And I know that you know this. So I'm excited to actually go into this with you today, okay? Because the pentacle, a lot of people, when they get to pentacles in the tarot, they start expecting things. Like today, you might be starting to expect windfalls. Maybe it's the day to do the lottery. And yes, it's a day to put yourself out there, out of your comfort zone, and do things from the place that is right for you. It's not, the problem is when we start to expect it to give us something from the external, right? So today I'm going to help you tune into the internal. Let's do it, right? So I have got 3 mindsets that I'm going to talk to you about that I see as the biggest blocks for intuitives, okay, that want to receive. And I really do want to see what your mindsets are, okay? We've got a couple that's come up here. So I'm going to address them. But like I said, if you're here live, that's a bonus for you. You can pop in, dang, there's that mindset again that always gets me when I'm about to do this and reverts me back to undoing, okay? What is that mindset? If you pop it in the chat box, then I will help you reverse that. And I'm going to give you some examples now. These are the top 3 that I hear a lot in the intuitive field that are massive blocks. Okay, so I wonder if you can guess any of what they are. Full marks if you do. So first one that I've got down is, if it's what the universe wants, then it will happen.
And I was on a call with a client yesterday who's in that same dilemma of wanting to, it's the serenity prayer, right? That prayer of, God, give me the courage to change the things I can, the acceptance to change the things I can't, and the wisdom to know the difference. Yeah, it's a tough one. But what I would say is the key to it all is grace, okay? And grace doesn't stop moving. Grace moves around what obstacles are there, because it realizes that the obstacles are there for a reason, but it's not to stop you. It's to channel you in a certain way. And that's where grace and will work together. Yes, because grace gave us will. We are a part of the universe. Yes, if the universe wants what you want, if it's put it there in your desire, then it needs your will. It needs your will. And it's about finding that balance. So there's a difference between acceptance and resignation. And resignation means no will. Acceptance has more grace than will. And it's about fine-tuning that place of grace and will so that it becomes aligned and doesn't become too much of a self-sabotage. So number one, if the universe wants it, then it will happen. Just remember that the law of attraction has the word action in it as well, which is will as well. And there's something about desire. When you desire something, that is powerful. It is so mega powerful. The more that you can ramp up your desire, the more power you're going to have. So the more that you go into acceptance and the trickiness of going into resignation with that, the less that you're going to be powering up your desire and the less the magic is going to happen. All right. So that's number one. So it's a tricky thing because, yes, we do have to tune in to the divine rhythm and energies of the universe. But quite often intuitives tune into that a little bit too much, and then they'll go a little bit the other way for a little bit, but that'll be like a boomerang. It's like you use the will as a boomerang and smack. What you get back is actually a smack rather than an aligned manifestation of will and grace working together. So that's number one. Number two is I don't belong. Did I put that as number two or number three? No, I put that as number two. Okay, so I don't belong. If we resonate from that place, and a lot of intuitives do, then we start manifesting from that place. So everything that starts happening to you will be mirrored back to show that you don't belong. So you'll be recreating that. So it's just a decision. It's bullshit that you don't belong. You know that you're here, you're on the planet. That is reality. So it's about just making the decision that you belong right now. That's it, done. And it can be that simple. And I'll talk to you a little bit about how that ties in with self-worth and the pentacle now. Okay, so number three is what I'm picking up on, intuition or fear. So for instance, I'll give you a story I often say. So sorry if you've heard it before, I'll be quick. About when I was dancing barefoot on a carpet with hundreds of people, big carpet. And there was this big guy dancing in front of me. And I just thought, oh, I think he's going to land on my foot. And I started getting into, is this intuition or am I fearing this? And of course it happened. And then I was still there like, yeah, but did I manifest that because I was thinking that, or was that intuitive? And really there's another piece to the I don't belong, I do belong. And that is to do with switching your self-esteem on. So every time you start thinking, am I being intuitive or is this fear? It's a big red cross for the wrong question. Your mindset is going in the wrong way. Okay, come back to what would self-worth do? That is the question. What would self-worth do? If I was in that place of like my self-worth being switched on, then I would have got out the way. I wouldn't be there thinking like, oh, is this intuition or fear? Yeah. So come from the place of knowing you belong, come from the place of switching your self-esteem on by just saying, what would self-worth do? What would I do if I knew I belong, which I do, you know, and my self-esteem is switched on. It's not a spectrum. It's not something you need to work hard to get. It's something that flicks on in an instant. You're either coming from that place of belonging or not belonging. You're either coming from that place of switching your self-esteem on or not with every decision that you make. Okay, so that's what I would like you to do today, is to think about what might happen in your day. What is it that you've got going on in your day? And you can put that in the chat box as well. I'm gonna like come and look at your comments in a minute. Okay, but what is going on for you today that could make you feel like you don't belong, or could make you operate from your self-esteem switch being off? Yes. Okay, so anything there today? Can you replay that in your mind now? Can you replay how that may well go if your self-esteem switches on and you're coming from a place of belonging? Or do you need some help to help you get there? Let me know in the question. So I'm just going to come through to your questions. Okay, let's have a look. Thank you for saying my hair is pretty, Megan. I appreciate that. It's good to see you here. I haven't seen you for a while. Hi, Fran. Hi, Beth. Yeah, Adele's fine-tuning this week, and that's exactly it. And that takes a lot of deep inner work on a daily continuum. So yeah, that's how you do it. It's like going to the gym every day, right? Yeah, so Adele shares, when things go wrong, I can sometimes slip into doubt or run out of optimism, steam and momentum. Aha, yes, yes, yes. And remember, mess is magic. We did this at the beginning. Do you remember? That quite often in your first day or two of be your own magician, mess happens. Yes, because actually what is happening is it's like it's being activated. Something is being activated. So the first thing that comes is the mess, right? And so then it's like the need to keep that kind of like, okay, that mess shows something is moving. Yay! Let's get really excited about that. So there's a little kind of tip around that maybe you'll find useful. Thank you very much for contributing, Adele. Hi, Delphine. Nice to see you. Hi, Papa Adama. Nice to see you. Hi, Richard. Ah, yeah. Okay, you're in and out, and we'll watch the replay in its entirety. I hear you. I think that's one is my problem. Number two, thank you for the clarification too, is I don't belong. It's a big one for intuitives, and it's it's like having a Pac-Man in your life, and it just goes, I don't belong, eat this, eat this, eat this, eat this. You're eating away at your life. You're eating away. Gosh, that energy is so insidious in everything. Yes, finances, relationships. It's like you just put a wall around yourself and nobody can reach you. You can't receive anything. It's really insidious. So like I said, you can just decide. That's it. It's a decision. It's a decision. It's like, I'm not telling myself that I don't belong anymore. What a load of bullshit. I'm not doing that to myself anymore. Why would I do that? Done. I belong. That's it. And that's the only place I come from now, is that place of belonging. Yes? Okay. A lot of you seem to be resonating with that one. Yes, the mess has been all week. Yes, absolutely. And imagine the magic that's going to come from that at the end. Aha. Yes, good things. Sometimes good things come from mistakes. Sometimes. I'm wondering if it's only sometimes. I don't know. What do you think, guys? I'm putting that back to you. And Beth says, time for myself. Feel the need to reconnect with higher self. Okay. Thank you for your comments. I can only really respond if it's a question, but by all means, feel free to share. So I'm just going to run down here and see if there's things that I can respond to that are questions around mindsets or anything along those lines. Okay. So Delphine is saying imposter syndrome. Syndrome. Must have been a rapper in a past life. Along with Manu's, I think, which is about proving something to someone. So again, that's kind of on the self-esteem switch. That's when you come from the place of your self-esteem is switched off and you're trying to get other esteem, right? So it's about coming to the place of knowing that you belong, you have inherent worth, and that's not something that is dependent on how well you perform out there in the world. It just isn't. You have this inherent worth from the moment that you were born, right? Okay, so you're no longer proving anything, you're just showing up as you are. You don't have anything to prove. Your worth is your own, and you're not responsible for other people. You're only responsible for your own worth and knowing that you're doing your gentle best in the moment. That's it. And I wonder if that is helping at all for you. Do let me know. Okay. Okay, so I'm just looking here. Yeah, car alarm has been going off all week. Absolutely. Well done for keeping your humour with it. And seeing your worth despite all that goes on around you at home. Yeah, that's another thing, isn't it, about our needs and our wants and knowing what they are. I'll leave you with a little story. Okay, so I've started doing a lot of deep energetic work in the mornings. I wake up before my husband to make sure I have time. I've been going out for a walk in the morning, come rain or shine, and listening on my earphones at the time that he gets up so that he can have space. And then if I come back and he's like rambling around, I'm like, okay, I've got my headphones in. Don't speak to me. All right. Come and give me a kiss when you go. But just, he's a Gemini. You can be like, la, la, and really unconscious with it. Bless him. Yeah. So I've been saying that, but I've been saying it really gently. I haven't like told him. I haven't sat him down and said, look, this is what I'm doing every morning. I've kind of hinted at it, and I'm sure he's seen like subtle differences, but I haven't. And I've said to him, I've got my earphones in now, so I won't be able to hear you, or I'm going for a walk, or I'm going to get up early and do this. I've been giving him little snippets, but I haven't actually told him the whole thing. So today he did something which made me go, right, okay, this has to stop. And so I went into the kitchen and I realized that I actually hadn't told him. I actually hadn't said the whole shebang. Yes. And so there was this insidious, always chipping away at what I was trying to build, shall we say. But it wasn't his fault. Yes. I mean, you know, I couldn't blame him. It wasn't spelt out what my reality is, how it's shifting, how it's changing. And so it was like I really had to say, You know, this is what I'm doing, this is why, and this is what I need. Boom, done. But I often realize that I don't communicate what I need. And I see that a lot in intuitives. That is the main symptom of the 10 symptoms of outtuition. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know what they are. That's the one I mainly suffer with. And it's tied to your worth. It's tied to not feeling like you can have your needs met. It's tied to being an what's called needless, wantless, anti-dependent, and that's how you were raised as a child. And that's what a lot of intuitives are like. They are trained to be needless, wantless, anti-dependence because their caregivers' needs, they saw that they needed to be addressed, really, because if they weren't addressed, then what would happen to them? So it was a survival technique as far as childhoods go. It's like intuition comes from tuning out of yourself and tuning in and reading the situation around you, because that becomes your survival piece, and it becomes like a survival pulse. And actually it's quite savvy for a child to do that when you are dependent on somebody else for your survival. But when you come to being an adult, it's the very thing that blocks you. And it's why when intuitives develop their intuition, their ability to receive actually gets worse. And that's really the work that I work on. Most people think it's intuition, but it's actually self-esteem and your ability to receive. So today, I belong, no more murkiness. That's right, absolutely. Come from that place of grace, yes, and that place of maturity, and that place of going, oh, what is it I need to do for myself today to, one, know that I belong? Well, not even know that I belong, but just come from that place of belonging. Two, make sure that my self-esteem switch is switched on. Yes, and I'm not picking up stuff from other people or trying to prove or overdo or take on anybody else's stuff. And number three, what is it you need, and what needs to be actually clarified? What is it? And quite often people won't know how to ask, so I'll leave you on one tip that you can do, and it's really powerful. I mean, this is the phrase that has unlocked situations for my clients that have been gridlocked for years, and suddenly what they've wanted has come through. It's all through this one sentence. So are you listening? It is, I would really like, insert end result. How do you see that happening? And so the end result isn't the how. So it's like you might be talking, like I might be saying to my husband, I would really like there to be space and peace and quiet in the morning so that I can do my energetic work. How do you see that happening? Right? It's completely different to me saying, I really want you to shut up so that I can have my space in the morning. How do you see that happening? Because I really want you to shut up is the how, right? It's not the end result. The end result is I really want to have space. I want to have peace. That is the end result. Yeah? So have a think about what is the end result, and then be like, I would really like this. How do you see that happening? So those are your little takeaways for the day. How does time figure in all of this? I have always been challenged here. Last minute me. I'm not sure I understand. Can you give me like a mindset about that? What do you mean about time? Can you be more specific? How does it play out in your head? What is it that your mindset tells you about time? Yes? Okay. All right. So I'm not sure where we're at, but for time, we're at time. And I will just assume about time. And yeah, I don't know. Time, I think, is one of those things. We've all got 24 hours in a day, and it depends how you use it. It depends on how you prioritize it. As intuitives, we tend to resist planning. And again, it's about finding that sweet spot of like going with the flow and finding the plan. So the grace is going with the flow, and the will is going with the plan. What I've found personally is that if I can make a plan for the week and know that I need these things done, they get done. But if I put them in my calendar as times, that can help. It's true. But there are some times when the grace or the flow takes me in a different direction. And the trick then is not to berate yourself and think it's okay as long as this gets done by the end of the week. And you'll find that it kind of reorganizes itself. So the trick is not to judge yourself. It's to have a plan and for the week, and to be like, okay, if this isn't happening now because my feeling is taking me somewhere else, and that is governing and that's strong, trust that graceful flow. But you've got the will and the intention that certain things need doing by the end of the week, and it'll just shift itself around. I don't know if that helps, but that's just what I found. Okay. All right. So we are at time. This is the last live. I might pop on tomorrow. I don't know. See how you go. It's the last live on the journey. So set up your Ace of Pentacles, put it on the phone or wherever you put it to see it. Remember who, what, where, how is this playing out for you? What star signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, are showing up for you? Remember the one, we've definitely had a lot of 111s this week with the 11th of the 11th and so on. Okay, remember to write it out in the Facebook group. It's great to see you processing, and it's great to see you connecting and supporting with each other. Remember, you've got your review tomorrow. It's just as important. So let's be like, this is the last day of journeying, but tomorrow is the processing. And for those of you that want to know the next steps, I need to say this because there's been a little bit of a change. Okay, so this is the next step. It's activate your authenticity and a 10-day journey through the suit of the swords. It's a live journey. I haven't been doing a lot of them lately. And I did a lot of them last year, and I really haven't done a lot of them this year. And I don't know whether I will do it again, okay? Because at the moment, I'm only running live journeys when I'm recording them and making courses rather than reinventing the real wheel all the time. So this is a 10-day activate your authenticity journey that starts next week. And I said on yesterday's live that actually if you signed up here on this link, that you would get the invite to you before it goes out to the public. But I said that that was coming out at 8 a.m. today. So this is funny. This is a bit like the time, the divine time. The divine time has said no to that. The divine time has said that it will be with you at 5 a.m. on Saturday morning. It does mean you don't get and I'm talking UK time, so what's that, midnight Canada tonight, or 9 p.m. Californian time today. But I'm talking UK time, so it will be 5 a.m. tomorrow in your inbox, and that will give you 12 hours head start before it's put out to everybody in my list on my social platforms, and we do have limited space. So if you want to make sure that you get first dibs, then please do go over to activate your authenticity. I'm going to put it in the comments. And I want you to have an amazing day, as always. But remember that the Pentacle is it reflects where you are with your own worth, rather than, you can have amazing manifestations with the Pentacles. Amazing things can come out of thin air. So stay open to that. Allow that. Remember, we're working with the Magician, and poof, things can just poof, come up from thin air. But a lot of it is to do with how much your mindset is in the right place. And if it's not, the Pentacle is really going to show you some wonky pentacles, because it is material, it is tangible, and it's a great mirror for just going, hey, gorgeous, divine, beautiful, intuitive. You need to just come back and do a little bit more work on your mindset, or on your allowance and vulnerability and things along those lines. And if you're wondering how to do that, the best thing is to process it, write it, use the group, and also use the little book of magic with the questions that are there to help you reset and realign. Yeah, absolutely. Please do listen to this from the beginning, Delphine. You just, as soon as I press end, the replay will be up there. Also, if you're on my page, then please do share. If you're in the group, you can't share unless you invite people to the group. But if there's anybody that you know will benefit from this, then please spread the love. And it's been lovely having you here. Maybe I'll pop on tomorrow. Let's see how you go. All right, lots of love to you all. Bye for now.